Om Shri Ganeshaya Namo Namah. Greetings to everyone in India. Green morning, green afternoon, green evening, world over to all our brothers and sisters across the globe, wherever you are. We are joining every day in the evening at 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time. But at the same time, we all are in different economic zones, time zones, pleasuresome zones, wellness zones, health zones. But at the same time, why not Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam? The whole world is one family. Let's take care of each other post-pandemic world. We are sharing nowadays with you our research and compilation work, which has been done by ICSI team under the dynamic and dedicated leadership of Madam Chitra Kapoor and my entire team. I'm so grateful to them, my deep gratitudes and thanks to them. And this is called Rethinking Tourism. That is post-pandemic, what kind of tourism, where all tourism, how much tourism. And like Golden Triangle, Delhi, Agra, Jaipur, your tourism, your hospitality and aviation, all three are linked with each other. And then of course, the ripple effect goes to the entire economy in any country. And we all know that services sector is contributing maximum in India today. And if services sector is contributing maximum to the GDP of India, aviation sector is a part of service industry. Rethinking Tourism, chapter 6 today of our book, Reviving Aviation Industry Post-Pandemic. So refocus, reboot, revive, survive, thrive, and drive post-pandemic. Reviving aviation industry in India. Let's take on a look at it. What are the latest development? What was there before pandemic and what was during pandemic and what is post-pandemic? Ladies and gentlemen, our chamber is a link between India and 32 million Indian diaspora, our brothers and sisters across the globe, and they're doing commendable work. And we have got a lot of collaborative linkages with them for innovation, for research, for education, for skills, for competencies, for capabilities, anything you can think of on this planet, which is a part of service industry, because we are attuned with non-resident Indians and service industry. Hearty welcome on behalf of ICSI. Our chamber is grateful to Shri B.K. Goswamiji, former Secretary Tourism, Government of India, who gave us the vision. And way back in 2001, our chamber launched India's beautiful platform. That's a forum of educators and scholars of tourism way back in 2001. That means bringing all the stakeholders of travel and tourism industry, like you have got Travel Agents Association, Tour Operators Association, Hoteliers Association, Restaurants Association, inbound, outbound, excursion, domestic tourism, adventure tourism, similar way. Why not to get all the educators and scholars of tourism together? Great vision, Shri B.K. Goswamiji. Our deep gratitudes and thanks to you for sharing your vision with us and giving us the strength and oxygen. We launched in 2001. Our chamber has come a long way with this because under the dynamic and dedicated leadership of present Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji, there is a Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Government of India, along with Ministry of Education now, which was earlier Ministry of HRD. Of course, we got the new education policy also on 29th July 2020 in the thick of pandemic. So now the feast stands for Forum of Educators and Skill Providers for Tourism. Entire policy framework, research, academic skills, technology, training, industry, all to be brought together. There are 1,035 institutions in India, and there are more than 14,000 prestigious institutions world over of travel and tourism with whom we are trying to collaborate and network and bring everybody together on a common platform. The book which we have come out with, Rethinking Tourism Post-Pandemic, has got 15 chapters, and today we are on the 6th chapter. Remember, just to recollect, every day in the evening at 8 p.m., that is Indian Standard Time, except Sunday, because Sunday is dedicated to non-resident Indians, 8 p.m. So rest of the days during the weekdays, we are covering up all 15 chapters with you. And the last chapter is going to be so scintillating and captivating for all of you, because we are going to talk about what are going to be the future trends in tourism, hospitality and aviation industry, roadmap 2047, when India will be celebrating 100 years. Now, rethinking tourism post-pandemic research and compilation of our chamber, it's basically for vocational education. It's for schools, it's for colleges, it's for universities, it's for skill centers, and it is for capacity building of vocational teachers across the country and globe, wherever they are. This is the homepage for our chamber's web portal. If you go to icsiindia.in, you will be able to see this particular, the moment you open the web portal. So the first is you can download the ebook, the PDF form, and that is your baby. Go through in your own time. We are also planning to come with the audiobook for this particular, booklet on 14th of January as a part of our annual convention when we have North India Pravasi Divas. Now, besides that, we also have got our YouTube channel, ICSI India. You can go, you can see more than 4,000 videos over there, all related to education, students, youth, teachers, educators, counselors, trainers, coach, whatsoever we can work out. Now, as a post-pandemic, everybody is trying their level best. What can we do for the universe, the best possible way, where nobody has to spend any money, but at the same time, the humanity is being benefited. So there, ladies and gentlemen, our chamber is offering free membership to all those people. Those are from travel and tourism, hospitality and aviation industry who wish to be a part of free membership program, so that we all can collaborate, we can do networking, we can share the information, knowledge, wisdom with each other, and there can be a confluence of, the global networking at one podlock. So with these words, let's move on to today's topic, aviation industry in India pre-pandemic. I'm going to divide the whole thing into three parts: pre-pandemic, during pandemic, and post-pandemic. India was doing extremely well, and we were gaga when we talk about just before the pandemic. That time we were 9th largest aviation market in the world, with the passengers, throughout when you talk about, it was approximately 344 million. That is, I'm talking about just before pandemic. There are more than 85 international airlines operating in India, and 5 Indian carriers connecting almost 40 countries. That was something fantastic and contributing 2.4% to the GDP of India. Let's move ahead. Mohit Chaudhary ji, I'm so grateful to you. All the students, those are joining together from the entire Northeast student queries. God bless all of you. Sakshi ma'am, all the way from Uttarakhand, thank you very much. I'll keep sharing your vision and your views. Let me just proceed. Then comes pandemic, 25th of March, 2020. Everything comes to standstill, frozen wherever you are. Aircraft being parked in the bays, no movement, nothing. Impact on aviation revenues. You can see right over here what was the scenario in April to June 2019 in terms of the revenue generation and vis-a-vis April to June 2020. So, ladies and gentlemen, tourism, hospitality, and airlines, first bird to be shot, first bird to be hit, because they are so fragile and they are all human-centric, labor-centric, people-centric. And when you are locked in your residences, how can you work on to? Can you imagine the impact on the employment, particularly the ground staff, the cabin crews, the commercial staff, and airports and airport ground handling, mid-air handling, cargo operations, everything coming to halt, and it impacted and affected very badly the employment scenario. Now, when you talk about domestic and international traffic, what was the scenario just in 2019? And that is before the pandemic and then post-pandemic, what during the pandemic, what it was. You can have a look over here. Both we have given you domestic as well as international. The data is the one which is being collected from the source, what is being presented in Lok Sabha. Now, passenger footfall at Airport Authority of India, when we talk about different airports, can you see the dip down, how it happened? March 25th getting locked, and April it is touching rock bottom. And from there, it was just trying to recover somewhere in month of July and August 2020. And again, we had the second, the drastic wave and the wind of the pandemic. And once again, we got deeply impacted and we had to move on and live on with that. But now things are much, much brighter. Post-pandemic, the revival strategies and challenges. Now you got to see lesser available airlines, labor shortage, low international air travel, change in the airport traffic and norms, rules, and safety and security and hygiene, issues in processing times, impact on airport revenues. So all those factors we have to take into consideration. Now the aviation market is reviving. India is currently now from the 9th position, we have come to 7th largest civil aviation market in the world. And we are expected, this is the most important information, we are expected to become the 3rd largest civil aviation market in near future. India has become already the 3rd largest domestic aviation market in the world. But as far as the international market is concerned, we will overtake UK and will become the 3rd largest air passenger market by 2024. There's a tremendous growth, and the Honorable Civil Aviation Minister from time to time makes a beautiful, kind of what you call statement, and that is so appealing to my heart. All the times I think, he says, you don't think that any place is developed and then you bring aviation sector there. You bring airlines to a particular place and you see the boom which comes up over there, the entire economic multiplier which you can see over there. The Ministry of Civil Aviation, Government of India, they announced that the airlines can operate domestic flights without any capacity restrictions. That was with effect from 18th of October 2021. And of course, slowly and gradually in phases, we are opening the international airlines as well. Now, there is something called evolution of the Indian aviation sector. Let's have a look at it. The financial year 21, when we talk about, ladies and gentlemen, and you see the scheduled airlines, the non-scheduled airlines, number of aircraft, cargo handled, and number of operational airports, all the stats are available. That is, you can see the comparative analysis of year 2000, and then you come to 2020 and 2021. You can well imagine how many operational airports are there in India, what is the kind of a traffic, the cargo, and scheduled and non-scheduled, and we will talk about drones as well. Now, the Indian aviation sector, when we talk about the financial year 2022, now, ladies and gentlemen, scheduled airlines, if you talk about, can you imagine how much distance in the kilometers it has flown, all the airlines in India on Indian skies? 969 million kilometers. And if I talk about non-scheduled airlines in the operation, there are about 94 of them. Air passenger traffic, if you talk about, that's 188 million, and freight handled 3.14 metric ton, that is million metric ton. Number of aircraft 712, and number of airports 129. That's the kind of a figure. That is market size. Then comes sector composition, where you got to see aircraft movement, passenger traffic, freight traffic, and what could be the key trends. What is the growth, which is expected in the domestic passengers and in the international passengers? You can see in the bar charts right over here with source and authority wherefrom we have got it. Now, statistics, hope for the best. Expected aviation market ranking by 2024 is going to be 3rd largest. And at the same time, when you look at business and leisure travel spending, this is something very important to note down over here, that whether the holiday and leisure tourism will increase via aviation, or is it the business travel? So the trends are showing, ladies and gentlemen, that even when we go to 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, expected financial part of it, there'll be more travel for leisure than for the business. There's still, because now the hybrid model, couple of other things, people would say you can work when you're on holiday and you can be on a holiday while you're working. All the combinations are coming up in a very big way, which we all have to consider and we have to take into consideration. Aviation is very interesting and fascinating. Don't you feel so? Look at this beautiful airport, which is right over here, and you can see the beautiful, kind of a panorama which is given over here. So domestic traffic in India, it contributes, rather, let's talk about South Asia first. Domestic traffic contributes almost 69% of the total airline traffic in South Asia. And India's airport capacity is expected to handle 1 billion trips annually by 2023. It's just next door, the next year when we talk about. When we talk about FDI, the foreign direct investment, ladies and gentlemen, the government has allowed 100% FDI under the automatic route in scheduled air transport services, regional airport transport services, and domestic scheduled passenger airlines. However, the FDI over 49% would require government approval. Now, the FDI inflow, if you see, it's on increase, tremendous increase, and that's the way it's coming up. Union Budget 2022-23 being announced by the Honorable Finance Minister. There is growth in that, and you can see 10,667 crores allocated to the Ministry of Civil Aviation. So, for a better execution of Prime Minister Gati Shakti vision, the Honorable Minister for Civil Aviation asked for synergy between the center and the state governments to build 16 new airports in different states in India. Now, in October 2021, there was a flagging off of the first direct flight along the Shillong-Dibrugarh route under the RCS UDAN, that is the Regional Connectivity Scheme, where UDAN stands for Ude Desh Ka Aam Nagrik Scheme. So when you talk about this particular scheme, it's an endeavor to make a common person to fly. Modi government's Regional Connectivity Scheme, UDAN, is going to be the game changer as far as the transportation network is concerned and aviation growth is concerned. And at the same time, the government is also committed that air travel will be made affordable for the common person to travel. And it is a first scheme of its type in the entire world. So then comes something latest which I got yesterday. That is on October 27th, something is being, I'm talking about October 27, 2021, which has been launched. That is the Krishi Udan 2.0. Ministry of Civil Aviation launched Krishi Udan 2.0 scheme in October 2021. Now, what exactly is this scheme? Let's understand. The scheme proposes assistance and incentive for the movement of agri-produce by air transportation so that your items can reach the destination faster. The Krishi Udan 2.0 will be implemented at 53 airports across the country, largely focusing on something very interesting, northeast and tribal regions of the country, and is expected to benefit farmers, freight forwarders, and of course, airlines together. Seamless, cost-effective, time-bound air transportation for Annadata, that is Krishi Udan. International Airport Kushinagar, if you all remember, the Honorable Prime Minister himself had gone for the inauguration on October 20th, 2021. Prime Minister Honorable, Shri Narendra Modi ji inaugurated the Kushinagar International Airport in Uttar Pradesh. And there was a chartered flight which was received over there. And that was for Buddham Sharanam Gacchami. Do you know that there are more than 500 million followers of Buddhism world over? And this was something remarkable, the initiative which is being taken by Government of India. Now there is a Digi Yatra initiative, all digital, whatever is coming. while it's being implemented at Varanasi and Bangalore airport from August 2022. But it will also start functioning in the near future at Kolkata, Pune, Vijayawada, Delhi, Hyderabad, and that's going to be somewhere by March 2023 itself. Now, Digi Yatra, it basically seeks to provide seamless, paperless, and hassle-free experience for the passengers across the checkpoints at all Indian airports. Now, what it is? Airport security by biometric. For whom? Registered users. Benefit, enhanced security and hassle-free transit. 8 new fly academies. This is something very interesting which you got to understand. 2 academies have come up in Karnataka, there's in Maharashtra, and that is at Khajuraho in Madhya Pradesh, and Leelabari in Assam, including, the people those come from Arunachal Pradesh, and till the time the international airport comes over there, people, they travel by road 40 kilometers plus, and they go to Leelabari, and from there they take a flight to Guwahati, and then Guwahati to Delhi and other destinations. So what I'm telling, basic aim and objective is that more and more youngsters, young boys and girls, become the part of the aviation industry. Now, manpower shortage in aviation, because a lot of people were laid off, and we were to recruit now as things are opening up. So we require at all levels the human resource in the aviation industry. Those of us, those are aspiring to be part of aviation, this is the boom time for you. If you are eligible and if you deserve, if you qualify, join airline industry. That is something fantastic which is growing. Now, the seaplanes, when you talk about, the government is planning to start 14 more water aerodromes across the country. And after the successful launch of seaplane service by the Honorable Prime Minister between the Statue of Unity near Kevadia, that is in Gujarat, Narmada district, and Sabarmati riverfront in Ahmedabad in October 2020. Moreover, by 2024, Airport Authority of India expects to have built 100 airports, waterdromes, and heliports under the Udan program. Imagine how much is coming up in the country. Those of us, those are joining on the YouTube, my great regards and gratitude and thanks to all of you. Keep sharing your vision, keep sharing your posts. I'm grateful to all of you. Now, freight, the backbone of the aviation industry, besides human beings, passengers, is the cargo, is the freight. And can you imagine how much is going to be the growth? And while international freight increased 29% to 1.9 million tons, domestic freight increased 24% to 1.2 million tons. Now, ladies and gentlemen, cargo is on rise. People want their stuff to reach faster at the destination. Now, there was an air bubble also, if you remember. India now has got such pact with about 28 countries, and that was including Afghanistan, Bahrain, Canada, France, Germany, Iran, Japan, Maldives, Nigeria, Qatar, UAE, UK, and US. Now, exclusive air links, it's a temporary arrangement established with different countries, and it's basically, providing additional services as a regular international flights, but at the same time, some of them yet to start. India reaches for the sky, and if you go through investindia.gov.in, you would be so happy to know that drones, that is today and that is tomorrow. The time is not for when the taxis like that you see on the roads, like Uber, Ola, etc. You'll see the similar kind of taxis in the air under the new drone policy. And what are the key provisions of the drone rules 2021? Self-certification and no intrusive. Security features like no permission, no takeoff. Industry will have 6 months lead time for compliance. And they have also got digital Skype platforms being developed. And drone corridors are also being developed for cargo deliveries. Now, drones, operation of drone zoning, you know very well, drones are very important. And when they have carried out the entire country's, the survey, The country has been divided into three parts: red zone, yellow zone, and green zone. And you would be so happy to know that 70% of the country's geographical area that falls into green zone, where no permission is required up to 200 feet, between 8 to 12 kilometers from airport perimeter, and up to 400 feet beyond 12 kilometers from airport perimeter, and up to 400 feet in any area not marked yet red or yellow. That's from the Ministry of Civil Aviation. Great gift. Now, what is Civil Aviation Requirement 2.0? Unmanned Aerial Vehicle. That is called UAV. Now, over here, when you talk about unmanned aerial vehicle, it has got 5 classifications: nano, micro, mini, small, and large. You can see all the categories right over here. And one drone pilot will be able to man multiple drones at once. And drone ports will enable drones to take off and land, charge and lay off during operations. A drone corridor will be defined in order to maintain separate airspace for manned and unmanned air vehicle. An upper limit will be set to the life cycle of drones, exceeding which renewal of registration will be required. And some more regulations are coming up. You can go through the policy. Those of us, those are interested to know about it. Now, Digital Sky Platform, the online platform hosted by Director General of Civil Aviation for various activities related to the management of unmanned aircraft system activities in India. So Digital Sky, ladies and gentlemen, another initiative. Now, it is just I learned from my colleague when she was preparing this entire presentation that it has been announced yesterday itself only, Daksha's petrol operated drones, they get DGCA approval. Now, India's first petrol operated drone, DH aggregator, get DGCA approval. MS Dhoni launches Drone camera drone. So you can enjoy, you can read, you can enjoy reading, and that is founder and CEO is Agneshwarji Jaiprakash, and headquarters is Chennai, Tamil Nadu. So that you should see what exactly this scheme is, and Garuda Aerospace Private Limited is associated with this. Now, Asteria Aerospace receives India's first micro category drone certification from DGCA. Now, DGCA, when you talk about, it gives the permission for the drones to fly. It categorizes drones based on their weight, and drones with an all-up weight up to 250 grams to 2 kgs fall under the micro category of drones. It's for your information, ladies and gentlemen. India has witnessed a 34.4% surge in the numbers of drones. That's almost about 35%. And when you talk about the increase in the number of the drones or UAV, when you talk about how it is that you have to understand startups between August 2021 and February 2022. There were initially in August 2021, 157 startups, and now February 2022 figures which have been made available, that is about 221 drones. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are in October. You can well imagine how much must have been increased. This is something very interesting for Arunachal Pradesh in the northeast part of India. Medicines from the Sky, the pilot project launched to deliver medicines by drone in Arunachal Pradesh. In a bid to improve healthcare access to communities in the remote areas, a pilot project was launched at Sepa in Arunachal Pradesh in the East Kameng district in August 2022. And this drone delivered the medicines over there successfully. Now, what is the novelty in aviation and value addition for new travel? Now, the robotics, artificial intelligence, and the Internet of Things, IoT, when you talk about unmanned aircraft system and the push for hybrid and electric aircraft are just a few examples on how emerging technologies are going to transform our world. Now, the big data and AI, that is artificial intelligence, they have received significant investment, and this investment has the potential to improve substantiality, efficiency, and safety in the country. That is tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. aviation and the sustainable development goals. It's a wonderful slide. There are 17 sustainable development goals, SDG, 2030, and you can see how aviation is basically giving the symbolic, kind of a chronology with all sector 17 sustainable development goals. In June 2021, SpiceJet, they announced its ambitious target to fly 100 million domestic passengers on sustainable aviation fuel. Now that is blended by 2030 under the aegis of the World Economic Forum. So this is again, you got to understand, very important when you say CAGR, that is your compounded annual growth rate, we have to take into consideration. So global sustainable aviation fuel market is valued at almost 65.4 million US dollars in 2020, and it is expected to reach, can you imagine how much? 2,773 million US dollar equivalent by 2027. So ladies and gentlemen, it's remarkable. Now, Ministry of Civil Aviation, when you talk about, I'm giving you the latest stats. You've got both the honorable ministers here. That is Jyotirada Scindia ji. That is the Honorable Minister for Civil Aviation, Union Minister, and along with him, the Honorable Minister of State for Civil Aviation, General Dr. V.K. Singh, former Chief of Army Staff of India. Now, over here, you have got 12th October 2022. Today is 13th October. Imagine how latest the data is. So when you talk about domestic traffic, how many departing flights? So ladies and gentlemen, on 12th October, when the stats you see, it is 2,698 flights. 2,698 flights. Okay. Then comes aircraft movement, 5,386 aircraft. Now, let's come on to the international part. Is slowly and gradually it's opening up. So when you talk about departing flights, almost 387 from India, arriving flights 496, because some of them are our own flights, they stay put and then they go for domestic, roundabout to the different cities in India. And you talk about aircraft movement, 883 international traffic flights when you take into consideration. So thereafter you come on to on-time performance. Wonderful, you can see it right over here on 12th of October, how much latest we are giving it to you. That is something which you should enjoy, and we are giving you Indigo, Air India, and SpiceJet, and Vistara, and of course, inbound and outbound, AirAsia, everything we are trying to give you. Then comes Cargo Udan scheme and the drone initiatives, updates as on Ministry's website on 12th of October 2022. That is just yesterday. How much is the cargo being handled? How much on the Udan RCS? And then how many drones? That also you got to see it. You got to understand how the things are improving. There are 31 drone schools and there are 1,158 certified pilots. And when you talk about the DAN issued, that means the drone authorization number. That is 29,459. And a couple of things are coming up over here, ladies and gentlemen. India is on move, India is rising, India is moving ahead, and aviation is going to boom, 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 boom. So finally, let's come to the second last slide of today's presentation. We were focusing on aviation. So let's come together for aviation and let's make the education and the skills relevant to aviation, tourism, and hospitality relevant and innovative and futuristic, and of course, linked up with all sectors of the economy where every child enjoys and every educator enjoys. And finally, whatever your mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. You've got to just get convinced in your mind, I can do it, we have to do it, there is no other way you will achieve it. And that's the way we got to move. Tomorrow evening, that's 14th of October, 8 p.m., we'll come with the next chapter, new norms in the vocational education, focusing on tourism, hospitality, and aviation education and skills development. Don't forget to join us. We will be talking tomorrow entirely about the vocational education related to service industry, focused on tourism, hospitality and aviation. उसके बाद जाते जाते आइए, क्योंकि गीत, संगीत, मधुर, art, craft, culture, dances, music, places, everything is so beautiful in India. India is a destination, multicultural destination of all seasons. Our chamber brought a beautiful tourism song way back in 1994. When the chamber was established, we had produced 3 songs: India tourism song, Chandigarh tourism song, and Punjab tourism song. We will play all of them for you one by one on different dates. Today, I'm going to have with you the production which we have done in 1994, India tourism song. Let's enjoy the melodies together.
में आपके, भारत के द्वार हैं खुले, स्वागत में आपके। पग पग पे फूल हैं खिले, स्वागत में आपके। पग पग पे फूल हैं खिले, स्वागत में आपके। भारत के द्वार हैं खुले, स्वागत में आपके। मेहमान नवाजी के लिए सारे जहान में मशहूर है ये सरजमी, दीनो ईमान में। आकर तो देखिए मेरे हिंदुस्तान में, यहाँ दिल बिछाए जाते हैं मेहमां की शान में। आओ के दीप है जले, स्वागत में आपके। भारत के द्वार हैं खुले, स्वागत में आपके। कश्मीर के पहाड़, हिमाचल की वादियाँ, पंजाब के दिल पे एक नजारों की झांकियाँ। नदियाँ ये नाले, बाग बगीचे ये चोटियाँ, मनमोहती हुई ये परिंदों की बोलियां। सुर के है साथ सुर मिले, स्वागत में आपके। भारत के द्वार हैं खुले, स्वागत में आपके। ये आगरा का ताज, वो जयपुर के हैं महल, दक्षिण के मंदिरों में मनोकामना खजराओं की कला से दिल जाए मचल मचल, ये पर्यटन के सिलसिले स्वागत में आपके, भारत के द्वार हैं खुले स्वागत में आपके। अजब अजंता लोरा की गुफाएं, बुद्धा का मुल्क जिससे नहीं हटती निगाहें, सुंदर है घाट शोक बनारस की हवाएं, लखनऊ की शानो शौक देती है सदाएं, आंचल बहार के हिले स्वागत में आपके, भारत के द्वार हैं खुले स्वागत में आपके, भारत के द्वार हैं खुले स्वागत में आपके।
भारत के द्वार हैं खुले स्वागत में आपके, पग पग पे फूल हैं खिले स्वागत में आपके, आकर तो देखिए मेरे हिंदुस्तान में, यहाँ दिल बिछाए जाते हैं मेहमा की शाम में, आओ के दीप हैं जले स्वागत में आपके, पग पग पे फूल हैं खिले स्वागत में आपके, भारत के द्वार हैं खुले स्वागत में आपके। So we extend you a very warm welcome. And tomorrow we are going to discuss about vocational education, skills, and everything related to academics, whatever is there for travel and tourism, hospitality and aviation. And also we will play another song which our institution, our organization, our chamber has produced for you. And that is going to be Bharat ko punah Vishwa Guru banna hai. And that we have done during pandemic. We are going to play that song for you tomorrow. Don't forget to join us at 8 p.m. मिलते हैं एक ब्रेक के बाद हम लोग फिर दोबारा कल रात्रि के 8 बजे। जो भी लोग आज के प्रोग्राम में जुड़े, हम उन सभी गुणीजन का बहुत बहुत आभार प्रकट करते हैं। Thank you very much for joining us from the world over. Look forward meeting you tomorrow at 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time with